Hillary Clinton thinks you need to be reprogrammed. We're going to talk about that and more today on Speechless. Cut for time. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Speechless Cut for Time. I'm your host, Phares, 22-year-old conservative college student out of Central Illinois, host of Speechless on Cities 92.9 The News and Talk of Bloomington Normal and beyond. But I can't always cover everything I want to cover on that show on Sundays from 3 to 5. So I do these videos, Cut for Time, on here so that we can cover everything that goes on throughout our week. Everybody, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, and share it with your friends. We got to get these messages out here. And also, when you subscribe, don't forget to ring that notification bell, set it to all, because we know ScrewTube doesn't like these messages going out. I'm pretty sure I'm being shadow banned, but let's prove them wrong that these messages are something worth hearing. Speaking of which, the messages worth hearing is exactly what Hillary Clinton wants to do to MAGA extremists. That's what the way she puts it. Hillary Clinton wants to literally reprogram people. She goes on CNN earlier today, October 6th. And has a very interesting interview in which she makes a lot of interesting claims. We're going to talk about each and every one of them here today. Let's react to this video together. Gosh, it is just fascinating. Let's listen and look.
So for those outside this country who may not know, it is not so much a fight between two different parties. It's an internecine warfare within one party, the GOP.
Yeah.
So when you look at how to go forward for the country, as you say, is there any area of coalition building that could happen? There are pragmatic Republicans, as you say. Could there be a whole new way of trying to, get legislation going and cross-party governance going by Democrats and certain Republicans forming a coalition?
Well, you saw the number of Republicans who voted along with Democrats to keep the government open. So there's clearly
okay. Well, that first off is a lie, because here's what happened: is actually there was a number of Republicans that voted to keep the government open in a spending bill in multiple spending bills. But the reason why many of them failed were because Democrats didn't like what were in them. And so mainly Democrats and then a few Republicans voted against them. That's what really happened. Republicans had been consistently voting to keep the government open. It was Democrats that were holding it up. But okay, Hillary. Okay. Lie number one.
Sense, sane part of the Republican caucus in the House. But I think they are
old hag.
Intimidated. They oftentimes, say and do things which they know better than to say or do. And it will require us defeating those most extreme measures.
That's such a high and mighty. Okay, that's such a high and mighty thing to say, too. They know better than to do such extreme things. They know better. They know better, as if you know better, as if you're so much better than all of them. That's such a liberal mentality, is that I'm just better than you. I'm smarter. I'm peak. I am woker than you. I'm better than everybody. That's such a, get off your high horse, Hillary.
And the people who promote them, in order to try to get to some common ground where people can, again, work together. That's the way it used to be. I mean, we had very strong partisans in both parties in the past, and we had very bitter battles over all kinds of things, gun control and climate change and the economy and taxes. But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party.
Okay, I want to talk about something real quick, because when she talks about how it used to be better, you know what happened? Trump came along and gave a lot of Republicans a backbone. It used to be where Republicans were like, okay, we'll sacrifice every social issue so that hopefully maybe we can just get lower taxes and we can get spending under control. Maybe, hopefully. And it still didn't work, but they would sacrifice everything. So when it came to the gun control and the climate crap and abortion and pretty much every social issue, gay marriage, everything, Republicans bent the knee and Republicans had no spine. Then Donald Trump came along and said, no, we can actually win on these issues. We have good policies on these issues. We can. And so in 2016, he won on the idea of, hey, let's not give an inch consistently because they're always going to take a mile. And so when Hillary says the good old days, what it used to be like, how much better it was. Yeah, it's because we had a uniparty, essentially. We had a uniparty and a controlled opposition. That's what we had. We had Democrats that were pretty much controlling everything. Even when Republicans were in control, Democrats still pretty much controlled it in the name of bipartisanship. But that's the good old days that Hillary wants to talk about.
as it is today. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure.
Okay, here's the thing is, so they don't all take their orders, because even Donald Trump said, keep Speaker McCarthy in. It's fine to keep Speaker McCarthy in, and Matt Gaetz still didn't. So, no, they're not taking marching orders from Donald Trump.
He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him?
And so, okay, so she says that he's lost all credibility. It's hard. I'm sorry if you want to watch this whole thing. You can go find it if you really do. But it's hard not to, like, because everything she says is just either a mischaracterization or a flat out lie. But she comes out and says that he has no credibility left, and he's facing. This is the world we live in now, guys. Okay, one, it's clear that former President Donald Trump is being targeted by the Department of Justice in political persecution. That's clear. Obviously, that is clear. But the second thing is, at least the main indictments that he's facing. Yes, there's a fraud trial, and there's a fraud case in New York that didn't go his way, and he has certain claims about that. That's not what this video is about. But she comes in and says that he's facing all these different things. All of them right now are just accusations. He still is yet to face trial. But this is the problem, and this is the problem significantly with Democrats, is that we have a presumption of innocence in this country, or we're supposed to, that is no longer. Now it is guilty until proven innocent. That is how the Democrats act. And so for her, when she says he's lost all credibility, well, he has to her because she has a guilty until proven innocent mentality. When in reality, our justice system is supposed to work with a presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. But of course, Hillary doesn't want to actually follow the law. When has she ever wanted to follow the law? Seriously, let me know in the comments.
Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
And how do you
wait.
do that? Because
What did she just say? Listen to that one more time.
At some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs
There
to
needs
happen.
to be a formal deprogramming. Look, I always have people that, like, because for a long time, even I would be like, okay, Democrats aren't really communists, right? Like, you'd always have like some pundits that would be, Democrats are communists. Democrats are communists. And I'm like, okay, like let's calm down there a little bit. No, at least Hillary Clinton just advocated for a very very communist policy point. Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, Vietnam when they were communist, Cuba, re-education camps. There needs to be a formal deprogramming. How can you separate that? What spin doctor is going to come on that one and not be able to say, yeah, she basically just advocated for re-education camps, which are like a communist staple. It's basically everything that Marx said in a transition period from capitalism to communism. There's a period of socialism, according to Marx, in which what you have to do is any detractors, anybody who will not fall in line, you have to re-educate them. And if they aren't going to get re-educated, if they are still really, really not open to that, then kill them. That's essentially what Marx advocated for, and that's how we got gulags under Joseph Stalin. That's how we have pretty much Mao Zedong did it best in China, and even there's arguments that what's going on now with Xi Jinping and the Uyghur Muslims, that's also a form of re-education camp or an attempt to. Then you also had obviously Vietnam back in the day. They were very famous for having re-education camps for communism. That's exactly the reprogramming of MAGA extremists. So basically, there's no freedom of speech in this country anymore. No, to Hillary Clinton, no matter what you believe, she's going to force you in her policy position, force you 2 + 2 = 5, everybody. This is 1984. This is communism. And that's what she's expressly advocating for. And anybody who doesn't immediately denounce this kind of talk is somebody that you should primary and get out of office, because it's terrifying.
You do that because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader is Donald Trump. Even you have said that you expect him to be the Republican nominee. How does this change at all?
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still likely be the nominee, and we have to defeat him. And we have to defeat those who are the election deniers, as we did in 2020 and 2022.
Wait. Who's the election denier? Who's the election denier? Who are the real election deniers? Is it Donald Trump? Maybe. But I remember Russia. I remember Donald Trump worked with Russia to steal the 2016 election. I remember this. I'm old enough to remember this, Hillary. And who said that? And who actively lied about it? According to the Durham report, who actually lied about that? You. and Obama and other top Democrats. You knew that it wasn't true, but you spread it. So who's the real election denier? She wants to talk about Donald Trump losing credibility. Oh my gosh, you're the one who's lost credibility, Hillary.
And we have to, just be smarter about how we are trying to empower the right people inside the Republican Party. Nancy.
The right people. You aren't a Republican. Who do you know? The right people for you is whoever will let you win. So empowering the right people in the Republican Party to you is empowering wolves in sheep's clothing. Rhinos, genuine rhinos. I'm not talking about like Jim Jordan, who a lot of people have been calling a rhino because he voted for McCarthy or anything like that. No. Real rhinos. Your Liz Cheney's, your Mitt Romney's. Those are the people that Hillary Clinton, because they'll bend the knee because they're wolves in sheep's clothing.
Nancy Pelosi had a majority of 5 votes when she was Speaker. Kevin McCarthy had a majority of 5 votes. Nancy Pelosi passed consequential legislation. And she clearly had members within her caucus who, ranged across a spectrum of political beliefs and ideology. And she kept everybody together. And she kept everybody focused on the future. Mm-hmm. He couldn't do that. And so he paid a price, but more importantly, the country paid a price.
And so when you see another matchup between potentially Trump and President Biden, what goes through your mind? And particularly, how do you process that this person who defeated you back in 2016 is still at it, given all that you've said, 91 indictments, civil fraud, sexual transgressions according to the courts? How is this still happening?
It's the classic tale of an authoritarian
populist. He's an authoritarian. Wait, who's the authoritarian? Who's the authoritarian? The one who wants to reprogram everybody? No, is it that? Is that the authoritarian? Who is the authoritarian, Hillary? Ought to be apparently the person that wants to actually reprogram everybody. But maybe I'm just stupid. And then listen to what she said. Let's go back because I want to make sure you hear the next word she said.
Authoritarian, populist, who really has a grip on the emotional, psychological needs and desires of a portion of the population.
Okay, so she said populist. I want to be clear as to the definition of populist because she says it as if it goes hand in hand with authoritarian. No, a populist is a person, especially a politician, who strives to appeal to ordinary people who feel that their concerns are disregarded by established elite groups. What's wrong with that? If people feel like you're a Democrat, Hillary. I thought feelings were everything to you. I mean, if you feel like a woman, you can become a woman to you. So I thought you would really care about the feelings that their concerns are disregarded by established elite groups. Isn't that something you should care about too? But no, she says populism is a bad thing. She acts like it is. What an out of touch old hag.
And the base of the Republican Party, for whatever combination of reasons, and it is emotional and psychological, sees in him someone who speaks for them. And they are determined that they will continue to vote for him, attend his rallies, wear his merchandise.
What's wrong with having somebody who you feel speaks for you and says the things and does the things that you want out of a candidate? I think she's just mad because she wasn't that candidate. Because nobody wanted her. Because she didn't make people feel like she spoke for them. Because she's out of touch and she acts like she's better than everybody. Look, if a Republican was speaking in comparable ways about Democrats, I'd be just as appalled. Because she's, one, mischaracterizing a significant level. She's flat out lies. And she acts like she's better than everybody. Like she's smarter. And as if she somehow knows better for you. And that's just a Democrat thing and a liberal thing. We know better for you than you.
Because for whatever reason, he and his very negative, nasty form of politics resonates with them. Maybe they don't like migrants. Maybe they don't like gay people or black people or the woman who got the promotion.
Oh, and that's where she pushes. It's all, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're anti-immigration. Look, with hundreds of thousands of border crossings each month, and we've have no idea who these people are. We basically don't have a border. I think we should all be concerned. I mean, Biden's administration even said we need to build a wall now, but okay.
Promotion at work they didn't get, whatever the reason. Make America Great Again was a bid for nostalgia, to return to a place where, people could be in charge of their lives, feel empowered.
And what's wrong with that?
Say what they want, insult whoever came in their way. And that was really attractive to a significant portion of the Republican base. So it is like a cult. And somebody has to break break that momentum. And that's why I believe Joe Biden will defeat him. And hopefully then that will be the end and the fever will break. And then Republicans can try to get back to, fighting about issues among themselves and electing people who are at least, responsible and accountable.
Look, I've been clear. I am not, Trump is not my first choice for 2024, but the rhetoric that she is using, and she claims that he's the authoritarian. No, she is being blatantly authoritarian. She doesn't want people. She literally said there, she doesn't want people to feel like they can think for themselves and do what they want for themselves. Who's the authoritarian in that situation, Hillary? What an absolutely insane woman, but it's worth everybody. We need to listen to these kinds of things. We need to be aware of it because that's a person that not only ran for the presidency and came, I don't want to say necessarily came close, but came closer than most. And she obviously has the ears and ideas of people that probably currently hold power. So we need to be asking every single Democrat politician, do you believe in the re-education and the reprogramming, as she put it, of MAGA extremists? It's insane. It is absolutely insane. That is Marxist. That is authoritarian. It is arguably fascist as well. Lenin, I even believe, had those kinds of things. Fascist icon, Lenin, Vladimir Lenin. It baffles me. It baffles me that this is where we're at with politics, everyone. But it's insane. Everybody, we need to spread these messages. Don't forget to like this video, comment what you think. How scared are you? Because that's terrifying to me. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, hit it to all, because we know ScrewTube doesn't want you actually hearing this viewpoint. And then share this with your friends so we can spread this message as much as possible. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want to. I'd really appreciate it. God bless you. God bless America. And until next time, you've been listening to Speechless. Cut for time.